If you've ever been to our area of the Great Smoky Mountains, then you've seen these trees. They're all over the side of the road on the way up to the mountains. They're actually an invasive species. They're from Asia, and I've read where they came here a long time ago, but they've just spread prolifically. They're literally all over the place. I've seen articles telling people how to control these trees, but instead of controlling them, let's just use them. Mimosa flowers have an uplifting quality to them. I'm not going to get into all the herbal details of the mimosa flower. We're just going to make some jelly today. They do look like something from a Dr. Seuss book, don't they? The mimosa tree, it's one of the most unique flowers on a tree I've ever seen. I've loved them ever since I was little. Let's go make some jelly. Okay, so what we did, we placed all the flowers on a towel on my table just to kind of dry out if there was any moisture on them, and also to let any little bugs crawl out if there was any bugs in them, because they do attract pollinators. So what I'm doing is just clipping off the stem. Now here's my blooms. I have about 4 cups in my big jar. The next step is just to pour boiling water over the blooms in the jar, and we're making tea. So I'm just going to cover the flowers with the boiling water. At first it's green, and then the water turns a cool pink color. After the tea has steeped for several hours, we're going to strain out the flowers into my measuring cup, and I'm going to end up with 4 cups of tea for my jelly. Now I just pour the mimosa tea into a medium saucepan. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Watch how the color changed with that lemon juice added. And then we're going to start it to boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to add a whole box of powdered pectin. I use Sure Jell. And we're going to stir it. And then we're going to let that come back to a boil, and then we're going to boil it for 1 minute. And yes, I set my timer for 1 minute because I did not want to mess up this batch of jelly.
That needs to make sure it's boiling.
We're boiling for a minute. And then we're going to add 4 cups of sugar. I used organic cane sugar. So once we get all of that added in, we're going to stir it up to dissolve all of the sugar, and then we're going to bring it back to a boil again and boil it once again for 1 minute.
Now it's boiling again for a minute. And then we're gonna put it into the jars. Okay, it is done boiling. We're gonna set it off, and we're gonna start filling jars.
Alright, now we're going to ladle the hot jelly into the jars. And I've just put 2 out at a time so I can quickly fill my jars. I don't want to waste any time.
Leave a little bit of headspace at the top.
And I'm also leaving about a 1/2 inch headspace in each jar. You'll want to leave some headspace so it will seal properly. And we wipe the rim just to make sure there's no sticky on it. We put on the lid and screw on the band, and then it goes into the water bath canner. And I'm going to get out some more jars and keep filling.
this jar of paint. Oh, we're gonna have a little left over, but that'll be okay. We can taste test it.
Into the boiling water bath they go, and they're going to process for 10 minutes. And here they are, fresh out the canner. Sweet and floral is how I would describe this jelly.